So, hello everybody. It's been a minute. It's been a million minutes. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast, and then I did one, and then left for months. I don't know. Was it March of last year? I feel like when did Wonder Woman come out? I don't know. I don't. Time is fake, so I don't. I don't pay attention to it. But I know that it's been a while. If time were real, it'd be a long time since my last podcast. But I'm back with the new format. Obviously, this is like video, but I mean you don't have to watch it because once again it's a podcast, so you can just listen to my voice. But it just makes it easier, I think. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so this is my handy dandy laptop here I got so I can keep like in my head what I was supposed to talk about. But like, did I even write anything down? I didn't. So who am I helping? Not myself. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into it. This is gonna be like, it's gonna be kind of shorter. And I'm gonna jump to several different topics, just really quick. Well, they're all gonna be like superhero focused, I guess, like the movies that have come out recently. I don't know. I swear that this is not just gonna be like talking about superhero movies podcast kind of deal, because like I don't even watch that many superhero movies because they're boring to me, because they're all the same. You like watch some white dude run around and save the world and like over that. And so you normally, if I go see them, it's because it's like, you know, either something I really like or like I get dragged to see one of them. So, which is like, I'm going to talk about Thor Ragnarok, and I didn't initially want to see that. My friend was like, oh, do you want to go to the movies? And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll pay $15 for a movie I don't even want to see. I love spending money. And so, that's not the first, because I got to bounce off of the two. So yeah, and then I wanted to see Justice League. I saw it for my birthday, for my cousin's birthday. And Black Panther. Obviously, that's like the movie everybody's talking about. I wanted to see that because, well, duh. I think all black people are like required to see it, or you like, I don't know, get your black card revoked or something. Just kidding. That's not a thing that exists. You can only be black because of genetics. That's just how it is. Yeah. So I guess first I'm gonna talk about Justice League. Wait a second, I gotta do my little thingy really quick. I should have done this before, but whatever. I mean, you guys are here listening or not. I don't give a shit. If you're here, then you're. This is what's happening. You just gotta fucking deal with it. Ragnarok, and then Black Panther. Did I see another superhero movie? Since I saw Black Panther, like, my friends are like, oh, can't wait to see Infinity Wars. And I'm like, have fun seeing it by yourself. I don't want to fucking see that shit. And they're like, no, Taylor, you gotta, like, see it with us. Like, you're stoked. And I'm like, I'm literally not. I'm not stoked. I do not care about... I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, because it was, like, a double feature at a drive-in I was at. And, Minions 3 was on first, and I enjoyed Minions 3 more than I enjoyed Spider-Man Homecoming. It was just like, I don't know, like, it just felt boring, kind of, and I don't know, like, it felt like it was like a consolation prize, like, oh, like, we couldn't make Spider-Man black, so, like, everybody else is gonna be black, or, like, a person of color, like, so it's like, it's still that kind of thing where it's like, does your diversity really mean anything if the main guy is still gonna be the white dude? It's like Power Rangers. Like, I love Power Rangers, don't get me wrong. That was my fucking shit. If you haven't seen Power Rangers, go see it. I'm probably gonna have a podcast about it at some point, because the cinematography in it is amazing, and I just cannot rave about it more. And just the soundtrack they chose, it was just great. 10 out of 10. Okay, maybe not 10 out of 10, because the script was kind of weak in some places, and it didn't feel like how the way teenagers actually talk, or young adults or whatever. But yeah, and so I didn't like Spider-Man Homecoming. I thought it was like kind of boring, I think I remember. Because it was a while ago, and I don't really remember how my like opinion was of it really, besides the fact that I didn't like it. Like, I can't tell you specifically, it's just like I know I didn't enjoy it. I think because I thought it was boring. And that would make most sense, because that would mean why I don't remember anything. Okay, so first thing I'm going to talk about is the Justice League movie came out in November, and it was okay. Okay, so this is why I don't need to talk about Thor Ragnarok as well, because Thor Ragnarok was like an okay movie. Like it was funny. Taika Waititi like does a great job. He's like phenomenal. He's always doing a good job, and like that's why it's such a good movie. Is because like he's a phenomenal director, and the movie was great, and it was colorful. Like you had like these bright colors and these really cool shots, and like it's with this the dissonance between like you're watching a superhero movie very serious, and then like you have like rock ballads playing, and so it was really cool about that. But and I feel like if that's all I'm gonna talk about Thor. It was good because of those reasons. That's it. I don't really have that particular like affinity towards. I like Chris Hemsworth. Everybody does. He's hot. He cut his hair though, so that's depressing. Well, he didn't. The character cut his hair. He got his eyeball ripped out. That was pretty sick. What's the one lady's name? I don't even care. Like it's like, oh, fake fan. Like who gives a shit? Nothing matters. The one lady, the bad lady. I want to say Hera, but that doesn't feel right. I don't think that was right. Full cast and crew. In the meantime, while I try to remember this, Hela. That's funny because she was evil. Hela was like hot, and like I didn't want to think that she was hot, but she was just like very sensual. It made me uncomfortable, but like not in like a. It was just like I was just like I don't. She's like evil. Taylor, don't eat. But whatever. But talking about Justice League is that like it is. I feel like DC will do better if they stop taking themselves so seriously. I think that's what is the main thing that leads to their defeat, you know what I mean? Okay, so in Justice League, also, spoiler alerts. This is gonna be full of spoilers, probably. I don't know, maybe I'll keep talking vaguely like I have been. Or maybe I'll just be like, I'll tell you the whole movie, start to finish, whatever. But anyway, this is stuff you can see in the trailer anyway. They are fighting like moth people, like they're like giant insects, like they're actually moth people. And it's like, it's cheesy, this is corny, this is campy, like, it's superheroes fighting moth people, like, how could this be a serious subject? Like, it's not like, it's not like Wonder Woman where it was like an actual war or something, like, they're fighting a giant CGI man and moth monsters, moth people, so, yeah, it's not serious, and I feel like it looked like it was serious, which is like stupid. Why do you have the color coding of a war film when you're fighting insect people? Like you're fighting. I can't. I can't stress this enough. Literal moth people. You're fighting moth people, and it's not deep. It's not serious. It's not a war movie. It's not realism. It's not a realistic movie. Make it bright colored, man. That would have made the movie. I think it would have made it exponentially better. I think it would have gotten harsh as a reviews if it was just more brightly colored, because superheroes are bright colors because it's like ridiculous things, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy can shoot laser beams out of his eyes. Like, you're like, that's not real. That's like something that's crazy and, made up. So it's got to be like, you got to have that sort of like, what's the word? Like the distinction between like, oh, this is in a documentary style, why is it everything green and red, versus like this is the bright colors of a movie that doesn't take itself seriously because it's about superheroes. And I feel like if Justice League just did that, then it would have succeeded a lot better. Like even if they didn't even change anything in the script really, like they could have just if they just made it colorful, it just would have been, I think the reviews wouldn't have been as harsh. And because of that, like I had, so also, wait, first before I get anywhere else about talking about Justice League, can we talk about I feel like I'm talking to people about this and they're like, I don't know, I don't remember what you were talking about, And am I crazy? I'm not crazy. I have always had an interest in film, and I've directed things and stuff, and I do cinematography as well. And so I noticed visuals, and I was like, yeah, like, the movie was good, Justice League. The movie was good, except, like, the CGI was, like, kind of bad at some parts, and, like, Henry Cavill's lips in most scenes were just totally distracting. And it's because instead of using, like, fucking, like, everything is CGI now, instead of using practical effects, instead of just using makeup and covering a mustache, they decided to just CGI out a mustache, and then the result is his lips just, like, disappearing and reappearing. Like, I know white people don't really have lips like that, but I noticed when the top lip just goes away. And I couldn't deal with it, and everybody's like, Taylor, like, that didn't happen. And I'm like, were you watching the same movie I was? Because that happened several times. And it made it horrible. Like, I couldn't take him seriously, because he, like, had monster mouth going on. And then, like, the CGI, like, at certain parts, like, when, in the beginning, once again, spoiler, in the beginning, but the movie came out, like, 3 months ago, you should see it already. Anyway, when Wonder Woman is doing her thing, and she's, like, saving the people in the beginning in the, like, art gallery or whatever, like, she looks like a friggin', what is those things called? Betty Spaghetti! Like, the CGI made her look like a friggin' Betty Spaghetti. I was like, this is horrible. If everything was brighter, maybe I'd be like, whatever, because it's Superman, who cares? But it's not, so I'm just focusing on all the things that are making me mad. But on the other hand, my favorite shots were all the shots they did with Flash when everything was slowed down with, like, the blue lightning. All those scenes looked very, very cool. Like, those were, like, really dope scenes. Like, I feel like that's why the CGI looks so shitty, is because all the visual budget went to those scenes with the Flash, because they were just dope as hell. Like, I would just watch those. Like, it's like, like the No Man scene in Wonder Woman, where that was, like, just, like, killer. Yeah, it was like that, but it was, like, just totally awesome. And, like, the pink when he, like, hit the sword to Wonder Woman, that was awesome. And then the two other shots I liked were when they first came out of, it was either when they first came out of the ship or the ship was coming down, and so the lights flash on them, really, like, the lights are really bright. And so all their outfits, like, all their uniforms, their costumes, because they're freaking superheroes, it's a made-up child thing, like, they all look really bright, like, brightly colored because of the lights from the spaceship or bat ship or whatever. I don't remember, I saw it a while ago, whatever, who cares? But the lighting makes all of their costumes look really bright, and it makes the whole shot look very, very bright and colorful. And I was like, this is the way the whole movie should look. It should look like this, and it would be so much better. Why is everything red? Why is everything green? I'm sick of it. I don't want to see any more. I refuse to watch any more movies that are green. I am sick of it. I'm over it, and that's T. Sorry, that was a text message. Anyway. Oh, man, I was easily distracted. Okay, so that's what I have to say about Justice League. I don't think I have anything else to say. Besides, like, I think it should have been in color. It was alright. I like that they tried to make it more lighthearted. But what would have increased the lightheartedness is if you made it not fucking green. That's just a word of advice. Also, another thing that pissed me off about the Justice League movie is that Wonder Woman was, like, struggling with Superman. And I guess I understand, because, like, she was supposed to be like, oh, like, I don't want to do superhero stuff because I'm too sad about my boyfriend who died 200 years ago, so I'm not really, like, top shape. So I kind of get it, but I feel like it was, like, very, like, shady in that, I don't know, is this sexist, But, Wonder Woman, like, canonically can, like, kick Superman's ass. Like, Wonder Woman is my first favorite superhero, and second followed by Superman. But I know that Wonder Woman can and has kicked Superman's ass. And that's just a fact. That's just real life, because there's also this really, one of my favorite scenes in the comics that's really dramatic, because that's Batman's true superpower, is, like, drama. Like, that's, like, his superpowers are, like, I'm rich, and also, like, I live for the drama. So there's one scene in the comics where, like, Batman's like, I got all the Justice League's weaknesses in little compartments in case you guys ever go rogue and I need to take you all down or whatever. And so, like, he's going through and he's showing Superman, and then he's like, here's here's Diana's, like, here's Wonder Woman's, and then he, like, pops it open, and Superman's like, but there's nothing in it, and then Batman's like, because she has no weaknesses, and it's, like, so dramatic, like, why couldn't you just said that, Batman? You're just like, here's an empty box. But I love it. What a messy, dramatic bitch. I love it. So, yeah, like, Wonder Woman is like Superman, except she doesn't have the same weaknesses, and she doesn't have a code against killing. Which is like, because sometimes you gotta just kill a motherfucker. Like, that's just how it is. Like, that's real life. Like, that's another, in my favorite timeline, or, like, Wonder Woman run is the Greg Rucka run, where she, like, you know, stabs her own eyes out, which is, like, the sickest thing ever. When she's fighting Medusa, and then she fights 1,000 beasts while still blind. Oh, it's just, like, it's the sickest storyline of them all, and that's my favorite, and I want that to be made into the movies, but it's not likely, so, well, whatever, I don't care. I do care. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, and so, but yeah, in that one, she, like, Superman he gets, controlled by this bad guy, I don't remember his name, and he, like, convinces him that, like, the Justice League murdered Lois Lane, and so Superman tries to kill the entire Justice League, and then Wonder Woman has to, like, stop him. And the bad guy's like, oh, when she's like, asking the bad guy, she's like, how can I stop you from making Superman kill everybody? And he's like, you gotta kill me first. And she's like, all right, bet. And then she just snaps his neck. And, like, that's it. Like, she just, like, she don't have a code against killing. She just snaps his neck and, like, keeps it moving. And by all means, like, sometimes you just gotta kill him. You just gotta kill him, bitch. Like, that's real life, okay? Anyway. And yeah, and then she, like, they're like, oh, you can't just be killing people, and we send her back to Themyscira and all that stuff, whatever. She can't be an ambassador anymore, because apparently murder is wrong. Yeah, I don't know where so Wonder Woman is, like, yeah, just as powerful as Superman, and has canonically kicked his butt several times, so I don't know why they, like, had her struggle so much in the movies. That pissed me off. Because, like, Wonder Woman is that bitch, and they just didn't do her justice. Okay. And so that's another thing that pissed me off. And okay, so now we're just moving on. To Black Panther. What can I say about Black Panther that hasn't already been said? Like, I don't even want to say that much about it, because, like, it's just amazing. Like, it's phenomenal, and there's nothing I can say that added to the conversation. Like, everybody in the whole cast is just so godly attractive. You could just stare at their faces for years. Shuri is like a meme lord, which is good. She even, you know, I'm no spoiler alerts, because that just came out like 5 seconds ago, so I guess I'll try not to spoil it. But even, like, the way they portrayed Killmonger was dope. It's, like, really, it's, like, nice that they, actually, no, F you, no. Spoilers, F you, and there's spoilers here. So turn it off if you haven't seen Black Panther, and fuck you, here's some spoilers. But the way they interpreted the, not, like, necessarily aggression, but the conflict between, you know, people of the African diaspora and, you know, continental Africans, because there is that conflict, because you have the people of the African diaspora who don't feel like citizens of where they live. You know, like, you can be, like, I'm black and I live in America, but that doesn't mean I get the same rights as, like, an American, so I don't technically feel like so you don't actually feel like a citizen. You don't belong to that country, but you don't belong to Africa either, because of the anti-blackness and the way it exists so heavily and so prevalent throughout all cultures. And, you know, they don't even like black people, like American black people in Africa. I mean, like, that's like, I mean, obviously I'm not everybody, you know what I mean, but I'm saying, like, the general sentiment, you know, like, you have black people in America that are like, oh, like, they all live in huts in Africa, but then you have African people that are like, oh, well, black people in America are, like, uneducated, et cetera, et cetera. Not because, like, you know, because it's the propaganda. You have anti-black propaganda that you receive, you know, like, people who don't interact with black people on the regular are gonna be, whatever they see in propaganda is what they're gonna believe, you know, like, it's the same way you have such huge anti-blackness in, like, East Asia, and just, I mean, I guess Asia in general, because, like, even in, like, India and stuff, they do treat, like, darker people, you know, like worse, and they have the, like, skin brightening, you know what I mean? And there's, like, African ancestral peoples in India that get, like, you know, that are treated worse than, like, everybody else. So, there is that sentiment of this, like, you know, you feel like you're without a home and you're, you know, and I saw this, it was like an African proverb, which I don't, it's African because it's a whole continent, so it could have came from literally anywhere, but it says, someone who's not embraced by a village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And, like, that's what I feel like is the general sentiment of the African diaspora, or, like, what they were trying to, you know, show, is that you don't really feel like you belong anywhere, so you have to, I don't know, like, you know, you can go either way. You can go where you can be like, you know, you can learn more about things, and you can try to work yourself into a certain place, or you can, you know, let the anger consume you, like Killmonger, and want to take it out on your people, you know? Because, like, everybody's just, like, it's just messed up. Like years of propaganda and trauma has really disconnected everybody from one another, and so it's easy to, like, feel that rage against your own people. And so it was cool that was the main source of conflict in the movie, because it's, like, a real thing. It was amazing in terms of, like, the visuals, the scenes on the cliff with the ritual, man, that was, like, so cool. Like, the songs and the chala, so I was doing that after as I was walking out of theaters, I was doing the chala. My friends were like, please, Taylor, stop. But fuck them, because it was cool. And Daniel Kaguya, he, like, the people, like, his section, like, his peoples, and their, like, cloaks and stuff, like, that was fucking dope. That was cool. I love those cloaks. I want one of those cloaks because they're sick. So, like, sign me up. If there's any Black Panther merch and I can somehow get one of them cloaks, I'm here for it. It's Kaluuya. What's now Kaluuya, not Kaguya. Anyway, but yeah, those cloaks were dope as hell. I want one of those cloaks. They were sick. The costumes were dope. The guy with the lip disc, and he was wearing that fire ass, like, green jade suit. Like, that was just like, oh. And then Angela Bassett with the white locks. Oh my god, I almost passed out of my seat. Because Angela Bassett is everything. Angela Bassett is just everything. And then with those white locks against the snow, oh, your girl almost just fell out. I almost fell out, and that's just real life. Yeah, it was just, and then the scenes with the, like, when he was going to, like, the ancestral burial ground, I guess you would call it. I don't remember what they called it in the movie. Where it's like it looks like the Lion King, but everything's purple, and it's just freaking sick. And it's like, the script was amazing. Like, I didn't feel like there was any parts that were lacking or weak. Everybody did a great job. It was just good. 10 out of 10. Yeah, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It's fucking phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Although I doubt you haven't seen it, because literally everybody and their mom has seen it at this point. So if you haven't seen it, like, what are you doing? Let's see. Okay. So that's me talking about Black Panther. That's my review. Okay, so I have like 8 more minutes because I don't want to make this any longer than 30 minutes. It's like, yeah, 8 more minutes. So yeah, talked about Justice League, Thor, briefly, Black Panther, dope as hell. That's that. I feel like I just can't, I feel like I'm still so excited about it, I just can't give like a thorough review, because I'm just like, it was fucking awesome. Like, that's my review. It was great. Everything was amazing. I gotta see it again, and then I'll maybe have a more calmer review of it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is not actually, it's not actually a movie, but it's still Marvel. I just want to briefly talk about Marvel's Runaways, the HBO show. What am I even gonna say? Like, what do I even have to say about this show? It's good. Watch it. Don't go into it. Don't be like me, and don't go into it like expecting like what you see in the movies, where it's like everybody's fighting, and punching, and superpowers and stuff just all the time. That's not the Runaways. The Runaways is very much like more similar to Smallville, where at first it's a lot of like characters walking around and being sad and talking, and it's more like drama, but they also have superpowers. That doesn't mean it's bad, like, because it's good. I enjoyed it, and so it is a little bit more slow moving if you're used to the movies, but the characters are interesting enough and dimensional enough so that you're still invested regardless. So you want to keep watching because you want to see what happens to these characters because you like them. And so it doesn't, like, so even though it is not so much like action packed, so much as it's like, oh, this person's talking to this person, and then you're gonna find out this, and then here's some more drama. But it's good. It's good. And then it took me so long to watch this because I don't even know why. So I don't really watch TV like that. So I have like 4 shows that I watch. That's just a random number I pulled out. It might not be exactly. It might be 3. It might be 5. And I kept seeing like people talking about the Runaways, and I kept seeing it, and it had like all the things that makes me want to watch stuff. Like, a really diverse cast. There's only 2 white characters out of the main cast, which like sign me up. And there's queer characters, and they got superpowers. Like, that's it. That's diverse superpowers. Queer characters. Like, I'm in it. But I don't know, for some reason I just like, no, I don't want to watch that show. No, game me, no. And even though I continuously kept seeing stuff about it, my brain was like, Taylor, like, this is something that you'd be into. And I was like, but I don't want to watch it. Until I saw a book at my job. We don't have any books in English at my job, except for randomly one day, The Runaways. The graphic novel was there. And it was just laid out, and I was like, okay, I get it. I'll watch the fucking Runaways. So I watched it, and I loved it. If I had to, like, order of favorite characters, it would be Molly, obviously. Molly is my child. So it'd be, like, Molly, Nico, Gert, Carolina, Chase, and then Alex. I don't know if I can even include Alex on my list of like characters because I fucking hate Alex. I like Tina more than I like Alex, okay? Because Tina is a bad bitch, alright? Tina is that bitch. Let me just start with that. Like, in terms of like what villains I like, or villains, because it's like kind of, it's not really very black and white. But in terms of like the order in which I like the villains, I don't even know. I don't even like the villains. Like the parents, like, they're, like, whatever to me. I mean, they're, like, obviously interesting to watch, but, like, I don't have favorites among them, except for Tina, because Tina is that bitch. Like, when Tina first, like, I remember her first shot. Like, she, like, came down the steps and was like, and I was like, yes. I was like, yes, I'm here for this. I was like, yes. And that's why I kept watching the show, because at first I was like, oh, this is kind of boring. But then Tina walked into the scene, and I was just like, lay me down. What is it? Lay me down in a bed of roses. That's what it felt like. I'm like Slade. So yeah, man, fucking love Tina. She just like she just carries so much power with her. Like, she just walks, and she's like very, like, she does some evil stuff, but like Leslie is the real evil one. She's the one doing that evil shit. And I guess at the same time, it's like, that's what I mean. Like, it's not very black and white. She was kind of like, didn't have a choice, but I mean, I guess you always have a choice, but like, she was, what's the word, like, she knew Jonas since she was young, so she was like, not brainwashed, like, groomed almost, kind of, which is like fucking gross when you think about it. Like, that dude's been around, you knew her when she was a child, and then you were sleeping with her when she was an adult. That's fucked up. That's gross. Anyway, so yeah, so she was basically groomed. So I guess on one hand you can't blame her, but like also she killed Molly's parents. Oh, spoilers. She killed Molly's parents, which is like fucked up. They had a baby, like even though she didn't think Molly was gonna be there, like they still had like a 2-year-old child, and you were just like, I gotta do what I gotta do. Alex's parents are Alex's parents are they're not as evil. They have more of a nuance, like, but they just look evil, I think. Like, especially the mom. She looks very evil. Molly and Gert's parents, they're, like, just, like, goofballs. You can't dislike them. Rob, I think his name is Nico's dad. He's cool. He's kind of, like, I feel like he's, like, get your shit together, man. That's how I feel about it. Get your shit together. And then, of course, you have fucking Chase's evil-ass, crazy dad, and then his mom who's like, I don't know, like, fucking blonde lady, whatever. You know? Actually, I take that back. Alex's parents don't look the most evil. Chase's dad looks the most evil, and that's a fact. It's those eyebrows. Fuck him. Fuck you and your eyebrows. So that's what I have to say to Chase's dad. But speaking of cinematography, this whole time, the Runaways is shot so immaculately. Like, there are so many scenes. Like, I especially recall in, what was it? In the last episode, what was it? It was 10, it was called, like, I want to say Hurricane. That's probably very wrong. I should just pull it up. But it doesn't matter. Episode 10. Doomsday, I think. Doomsday was either 9 or 10. Regardless, there's 2 shots in this episode that I'm obsessed with. Oh wait, I don't remember if this one shot's in 10 or 9. Well, the one shot was when they're like, when they're in the school, whatever, and they're running away from Jonah and all them, and they left Carolina, and like the lights are flickering and going off, and it just looks really rad. There's the shot of them running away, it just looks dope as hell. And then there's another shot, which is the very last shot of episode 10, it's the very last shot of the season, where they're running away and the camera pans down. It's like in slow motion, and then the music, and it's just, it just looked so good. Like, it's the way they run into the frame and then out of it, and it just looks, it just looks so good. Like, it makes me feel the way love makes people feel. Like, you know, the way your, like, heart rate, you know, like, the way love feels is what I feel when I watch that particular shot, because it just looks so good. Like, I would just watch that 10 seconds just over and over again. And it's full of just amazing shots like that. Like, they have this one where I think Carolina's coming out of her house and she's on the phone. And I can't remember exactly, like, they either, like, use a blur effect or something. But it looks cool. I don't remember exactly because I watched it a while ago. But it looks cool, and there's tons of cool shots like that. The cinematography is amazing, so if you're really a visual buff, I would definitely recommend The Runaways, and all the kids and all the actors in general just do a fantastic job. So, I just want to say, just if I can reiterate this, I know I'm at like 32 minutes maybe right now. So I'm gonna go to 35, because I need to talk about this, okay? Fuck Alex, okay? Fuck Alex. Fuck him and his stupid face. What is wrong with that guy's face? He always looks like he smelled something bad. I don't like Alex. No, I've talked to my brother, all the people in my house that have watched the show, don't like Alex. I don't think anybody I've talked to about it, well then, I don't know that many people personally that watch it, but Alex is annoying. He is so annoying. He doesn't contribute anything except for walking around and looking sad. And he's just, I guess he's the one who figured everything out, but like, anybody can figure out things. Like, you're just annoying. His face is annoying. His face is so annoying. And the thing that kills me the most was when they have this one scene where, like, Nico finds out that, Alex tells Nico that he knew, like, before her sister got killed or whatever, like, he knew that she was trying to break into the Wiz or whatever, and she was trying to break into their mom's programming thing, and so therefore she was being watched, and she was talking to him and telling him that all this stuff was happening. Like, she tried to break into the programming thing, and then she was being watched, and then she blah 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 somebody was coming for her. So she told him all this, and he never told Nico or whatever, and he's blah blah. He's like, but basically it boils down. He's like, I was too sad. She was my friend and blah blah blah. I was sad. I didn't come to the funeral because I was sad because Amy was my best friend. And then Nico says, yeah, she might have been your best friend, but she was my sister. And like, that's real life. That's, I think, the main reason I don't like Alex, is I feel like he doesn't have a sense of, people say that you shouldn't be like, oh, well, this person has it worse, so I shouldn't feel bad. But like, you gotta take into consideration context. You know what I mean? Like, if I had like a little pinch on my arm and I was in front of somebody who just got stabbed, I shouldn't be like, man, this pinch really hurts, because the person who got stabbed obviously feels worse because, you know, they got stabbed. So I gotta be considerate of the context. Like, when I go home, I can cry about that pinching as much as I want, but when I'm right next to someone who literally just got stabbed, I should be like, maybe I should just keep my mouth closed, just zip it. And I think, and Alex just doesn't do that. Like, it's always, his pain is always just the most out of all of them. It's always the most extreme, it's always the most important, and it's just like, you don't even, everybody's going through something. Like, you're not the only person who realized their parents are evil. Everybody just realized their parents were evil. Nico's sister got straight up murdered, and you're like, but I was stabbed, so I didn't come to the funeral. Like, shut the fuck up, my guy. You're so annoying and horrible. And yeah, so fuck him. It reminds me of, the best way for me to describe it is that, like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the movie, I don't remember what it's called. It was a movie with Anna Sophia Robb in it, and it was when she was playing that, it was like, you know, a biography of, that girl who got her arm bit off by a shark, you know? And I remember so distinctly, watching this movie, and the girl's arm gets bitten off, and she's just like, you know, she immediately is just like chilling and just like swimming back to the shore. She's just like, oh, my arm's gone, like, I'm just gonna just work it out, I'm swimming, and everybody else is like, oh my god, and she's like, no, it's cool. And because, you know, obviously she was in shock, but still, she's just like, okay, like, I'm just gonna swim back to the shore, you know, she's got her board, she's like, okay. But her dad's freaking out, but like, her friend, I want to specifically point out her friend, oh, it's called Soul Server. The movie was Soul Server. And her friend is just like, oh my god, oh my god. And so, but it's understandable. You just watch somebody get their arm bit off, you're gonna be freaking out about it. And it's understandable in that moment, except she drags it on for the whole movie, basically. She stops talking with this girl, the main character, played by Anna Sophia Robb. Her name is Bethany, I think, yeah. Because she's like, I'm traumatized by that. Like, and I understand you're traumatized, but like, your friend got her arm bit off. Do you not think that she is also traumatized? If not traumatized more, because now her life is changed. Like, regardless of how she was living it before, now she's got to learn how to do everything else, like everything differently. And you just happen to watch it happen. And the scene that sticks out to me, I don't remember much of the movie except for when she had her arm bit off and this particular scene, because I remember it pissed me off so much. The girl finally starts talking. She's like, I think you need to talk to your friend or whatever, and whatever. Like, that's the dad. And so the girl, the friend, finally comes to the hospital to visit the girl who got her arm bit off. And one of the very first things the girl who got her arm bit off, who's in the hospital bed, says to her friend is, are you okay? And then the other girl's like, blah, 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 like, it's whatever, but I'll get better. Your friend is in the hospital bed because her arm got fucking ate. And that's real life. Your friend, okay, so your friend, right, is so selfless in that moment. She still wants to make sure that you're mentally okay because you watched it happen. How, like, I don't understand the selfishness behind it, because, like, you stop, because you're so traumatized by this, you just completely take this person out of your life, who it actually happened to. If you're traumatized by watching a third-party view of someone getting their arm bitten off, how do you think it felt watching it first person, a shark just fucking chomping, and then you're just like, well, there goes my fucking arm. And that's the way I feel like Alex is. I feel like Alex is that friend coming into the hospital and be like, well, you getting your arm bit off made me really sad, so I couldn't hang out with you. Oh, okay. Alright, well, fuck you then, I guess. So that's the way I would describe Alex. He's the fucking girl. He's a friend from fucking Soul Surfer. Fucking, I'm traumatized, so I watch you get your arm bit off. Bitch, my arm is gone. It's gone. That's life for me now. I have one less arm. Oh my god. I just don't understand how you could not, like, just, like, take a step back and realize that, like, ooh, wind. You cannot take a step back and realize that, like, wait a second, maybe I should, like, do this a little bit more privately, because my friend has one arm now. Yeah, and so that's fuck Alex, man. Fuck Alex. And there's like supposed to be a mole in the second season because it kind of follows the comics. And on one hand, the mole does die. So on one hand, while I do want it to be Alex because like F him. At the same time, I would feel a little weird if the one black character is gone. You know, but I'm too committed to everybody for it to be anyone else. Gertrude, she could do anything, and I'm just like, yes, go ahead, baby. You're doing great. You're doing great, Gert. And then Molly's my child. She's my daughter, so I don't want her to be her. She's too perfect. I love Chase. Love that guy. He's great. So I'm committed. And then I want Gert to be happy first and foremost. Because if they weren't like had a thing or whatever, I'd be like, all right, sorry, Chase, it's got to be you. You're the white dude. Whatever. See ya. But Gert, you know, I want Gert to be happy, so like it can't be Chase, and then it can't be Carolina because Carolina and Nico have to be endgame because I'm sick of fucking women who date women dying on TV. Like I'm over that. Nobody wants. I don't even watch like the shows that this happen, but like I feel the sentiment. I'm on the internet so long that I just like feel it. I'm just like, no, I don't want to watch. I don't watch sad like same-sex relationships. Like I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Because you already have so little. I don't want to watch a sad one, you know what I mean? I don't like watching sad stuff in general, so don't do that to me. Especially because I'm invested in it. Like, Carolina, that's our girlfriend now. That's our goth girlfriend. Okay? So it can't be Carolina. It can't be Nico. So it has to be Alex. But, like, I don't know. It's a little weird if they just get rid of the only black character, you know what I mean? It's just like, ooh, I don't know about that. Like, if it's Alex and he dies or whatever, like, they're gonna have to immediately reintroduce another black character. Like, that's just the only way that I'm gonna feel comfortable with it. You know what I mean? It's like, you can never really know with people, you know? Because, like, okay, I hate Alex because of all those reasons I've said, but it's like, when other people, like, say I hate Alex, it's like, okay, do you hate him because of, you know, reasons? Or it's like, a little bit in your head, you're like, in the back of your head, subconsciously not aware of, because you just don't like him because he's black. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. And we just gotta have this conversation. So yeah, it has to be him, but I don't know if I'm comfortable with the one black character dying, even if he is the worst. Fucking just the worst ever. I don't know. That's what I have to say. Did I have anything else to say about the Runaways? Yeah, Carolina and Nico have to be in game, or else like. Fuck it, right? Chase and Gert have to be in game or else fuck it. Because I just want my children to be happy. And I just love Molly. She's never done anything wrong in her life, and I love her for it. And fuck Alex. Okay. And alright, see you fuckers later. I'm going to whatever, man. You don't give a shit what I'm doing.